So I remember when we chatted online, we were talking about just licensing in general. Do you? I mean, you've done an insane amount of tunes, or adapted an insane amount of tunes as well, like on different platforms. Like, do you still get some income from it, or no? Nothing.
I can barely get money for the stuff that I do own.
Yeah, no, but that's just a general misconception about a lot of composers, like especially in video games, is that the licensing laws are pretty fucked. Like, you give up all the rights whenever you work on a game, don't you?
Well, it all depends on your contract of employment and which country you were in, because different countries have different laws.
Yeah, licensing, art licensing. I worked in art licensing as well for a while. I do a lot of painting, and I was licensing some of my art to different companies, and it's a fucking nightmare, because every country is different. And I've done a shitload of stuff on a shitload of platforms and mediums, and I'm not getting any money whatsoever from it. Yeah.
I remember getting a lovely email from, it was like the head legal counsel of ASCAP or something, some huge organization, and the top lawyer emailed me, and they're like, so we've changed the law so that any web game that is played online, the music is streamed from them, that's classified as a broadcast. So you can get royalties, and we'd love to give you some royalties. Can we just see your contract that shows that you own the rights to the music? And of course, I'd retained the rights to the game they were talking about. But the contract said that they were allowed to use the music within context of the game without having to pay royalties for it, which broadly covered the streaming, or performance is what they classified it as, I think. So guys were like, and you're not getting any money. Thanks, have a nice day.
That's really weird. Yeah. And then now you're I mean, as a YouTuber, you're facing a lot of obviously copyright strike and claim, which I never bothered me, and I usually agree. You know, it's.
I think a lot of people don't understand the whole fair use thing, and
yes, yeah.
I mean, because Horizon Chase is a good example of that, because I retained the rights to the music, and all these kids post videos of the game with the music playing. So it's hard to differentiate between who's doing an actual review of the game and who's just posting the video of the game, or making the soundtrack available for free. So, like the CD Baby is the company that I published the soundtrack through. They have the YouTube police program that goes through and puts adverts on every video that has the music in it, which also will issue copyright strikes if you don't allow them to put the advert on, which is, it puts me in an awkward situation sometimes, because you've got guys that are like, hey, we're trying to do a review of the game, we need some paperwork that says we're allowed to have your music in the game, or things like that. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's always whenever some of the covers I've done have been claimed by either, well, probably not the original composer. Usually it's whoever owns the right to the game or something like that. So it'd be Disney or Sony or whatever. And I'm always fine with it. That's never been a problem, because ultimately it's not my tune.
But if you're doing a cover version, I mean, obviously there should be some trickle back to the composer for right holder.
I think there should be some trickle back to the composer. So I don't know where that goes afterwards, you know, once it's been claimed. What I do is usually I license them on Sounddrop. So I think it's a tenner per piece, per tune you do. So and then whatever happens after that, I don't know if any of it goes back to the composer. But I was going to say, YouTube, if you get claimed, so the sound right obviously go back to whoever the right holder is, but the video rights remain with me. So essentially you still get some trickle, money from the video rights, unless you're with an MCM, one of those multi-network channel, and they obscure that totally. So all of it goes to the rights holder. But Yeah, at least the video composition for my covers go to the stay back with me. But it's funny, you know, because you see a lot of reviews with, or whatever videos it is, with music in the background, and every time I want to scream like, guys, that you can't just use somebody else's composition. And I'm sorry, it's not fair use. It just isn't. And I know some of these videos sometimes, even when they're historical, explanations of whatever or reviews, they can be up to an hour, like, of just used background music, and I don't think people realize what fair use is, like. And in cases like that, I mean, the composers get nothing, absolutely nothing. I don't think. Yeah, it's a mess, YouTube at the moment, still for